Scatchel, ominous.
Don't call it a comeback.
Took a deflection off that plate, but Rudy Scatchel has had his say. This is the start of dreams for
Heart. Striding in your best end of season form, it's We Have No Cares with the energetic and enthusiastic Nicole Hay.
And me, Robert Borthwick, I'm here, yeah.
Sure, in body and probably spirit as well.
In every way.
It's difficult to tell. But, you know, bringing the impetus, like playing for a contract, it's Craig Cairns.
How you doing, guys?
Show us what you got, Craig.
I'm just straggling along. I'm not sure what I'm going to provide here.
You're looking to maybe drop a division next season. Go on some Dunfermline podcast or something like that.
You're our Bryn Halliwell.
Pay as you play contract. Play as you pay? Pay as you play. I got it right the first time. Don't know why I tried to correct myself.
You've not done well.
Crosses the name off list of potentials. Next season. Okay, so as is the grand tradition of this season's podcast, it's been a while since the last one. We have a number of games to cover with varying degrees of worthiness of discussing.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
So
was that a win and 3 losses?
1 draw. So two defeats, 1 draw and 1 win.
Yeah.
That's a fair mixed bag.
Yes, it is.
It's mid-table form. But you know, well, actually it's the form of a team that going into all 4 of these matches knew that no matter what happened, we were finishing 3rd.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as much as the we could still finish 2nd thing was chucked down our throats, I don't think any of us actually believed it.
Absolutely not.
We got off to a good start though with defeating Aberdeen, obviously.
Yeah.
And then we had 2 chances to close the gap, but we let Aberdeen rub off on us a little bit and bottled it.
Yeah.
That was our first and last mistake, letting Aberdeen rub off on us. We actually started at Celtic Park.
Yes.
Against Glasgow Celtic.
Yes.
Who play at Celtic Park.
They do.
In Glasgow.
Yep.
And
we started well.
We did start well.
Yeah, I think like, you know, obviously we scored within the first 6 minutes, Jamie Walker. But it genuinely, I think this season in general just started going downhill when he failed that knee slide after he scored. That was it. You could tell the players didn't care anymore, Nicol. You could just tell.
His heart wasn't in it.
It was such a half-arsed celebration, and it wasn't good enough. It's not Heart standards, frankly.
You see, it happens so often now that those knee slides go wrong. You wonder why so many players still do them.
I know. I mean, I was kind of half expecting Walker to be out for like 9 months after that with like 2 dislocated knees or something. But
that's probably what he did. Like he started to go into it and then just like got a flashback of every treatment table he's ever made on.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody like his legs really shouldn't be doing that.
No.
Yeah, just go back to the 20s, like a firm handshake and a jog back to the centre circle.
Maybe a wee jump.
But a shearer, just a fist in the air.
Is it not more the 2 hands in the air and the kind of the legs come up together? Isn't it like that kind
exactly. Yeah.
Are you suggesting he should click his heels? Because I would be absolutely up for that if just all the players went huzzah!
It's a goal. Yeah, but yeah, no, we genuinely started that game very well, and how we went in at half time 2-1 down still baffles me to this very moment. Juanma had a chance,
Oshiniwa
or 2, Oshiniwa also hit the bar. It was a very, very promising opening, which we don't often see from Hearts at Celtic Park.
Yeah, well, we scored well. Jamie Walker lashed at home, I think, is the only effective adjective for that.
Thundered.
It was a beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't remember much else about this game apart from Oshiniwa's ludicrous sending off. Oh no, I do remember it was like Patrick Roberts did well, and I said to Robert, "Who is this guy? I've never heard of him." And you said he's really quite famous.
Yeah, he's pretty well known for being like 10 years old and costing £12 million from Fulham to Man City, and then is really widely spoken about move to Celtic on loan as well.
That's about the best performance he's had since he came up here.
I think it's about the only performance he's had. Yeah, Celtic maintaining the fact that they only ever up their game against us. Fucking stop it, Celtic. Let us beat you.
The annoying thing was the chances, as you already alluded to, the chances that we missed while it was still 1-0. The Wanma one where he doesn't even hit the target, the Oshiniwa one where he's through on goal but he doesn't even control the ball. I think it actually came off his arm and then trundled towards Gordon. It was a little bit disappointing to dominate that much and not take more advantage.
Yeah, it was.
Well, so the story of this game is Celtic played to their capacity for maybe the third time this season. And won fairly easily. The Oshiniwa yellow cards, how ludicrous were they?
I think the first one's a yellow card. I think it's a late challenge, and whether it's on the ground or whether it's in the air. I mean, you saw the bump on Rogic's head. I think it was a late challenge. Whether he meant it or not, it was a bit reckless. The second one is just ridiculous. I mean, he not only gets the ball
like 6 inches past the player. Oh no! I'm thinking of a completely different incident.
Oh, right, no worries. The second one he gets.
But you can think of it Hearts.
The second one he gets booked for. Not only does he get the ball, there's no recklessness to it. He doesn't go through a player. There's no studs raised it's not high. I've no idea where the referee thought that was a booking.
And also in the last minute of a game that's already done and dusted, when you know the guy's on a yellow card. I know obviously like rules are rules and the referee thinks, but it's the 93rd minute.
GFA, mate. GFA.
I said Bobby Madden.
Was
it Bobby Madden?
I can't remember.
I don't know,
so
man.
long ago.
It was some referee. He's an arsehole though.
I think the chances are the referee looked at Oshiniwa doing something and went, that was probably wacky.
To be fair, actually, no, sorry, it was Bobby Madden, because the whole sort of backlash from that, I think it was started by Michael Stewart, of all people online. He sent off Igor Rossi for a very timid 2-footed challenge in which he won the ball at Hamilton, and Scott Brown didn't get sent off for doing exactly the same thing in this match. And then
that was really early. But Scott Brown gets away with a bookable offence in almost every match he plays.
That's Scott Brown's only notable skill on the football pitch to not be booked.
Aye, now his legs have gone. Yeah, pretty much.
Now he can't pass a ball. Yeah.
He takes hilarious penalties though, so that's fun.
Yeah, his legs and his follicles have gone.
Yes.
We actually played quite an interesting formation this match. It's all coming back to me now. we kind of took inspiration. I don't know. It was similar to the formation that Ross County played in the cup final against Celtic. No, in the cup final against Hibs, where it was kind of like it was a back three at times, and other times it was a back four, because Oshiniwa kind of started like a left back but played really high up, whereas
one of his
on the
best
other
games
side,
for us.
it was Nicholson where Suter was kind of tucking in.
Yeah,
it was kind of a 3-5-2. But a versatile one. Yeah, Oshiniwa playing further up the park looked actually pretty fucking good.
It's theoretically a good formation for us if we do have to persevere with Oshiniwa next season, especially with Walker excelling in the sort of number 10 role as he's done in later matches in this sequence. Harsh on Sam Nicholson, but then not harsh on him because he really hasn't kicked a ball for about 2 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, moving on then, that was Celtic. Next was Aberdeen. Next was Aberdeen, yes, because the Cali game got postponed for about the 17th time in a row.
Because we got down with the sickness,
That's right, yeah.
And it was postponed because Hibs had to play them in a replay as well, so there was a couple of times where it was postponed.
It was the 5th attempt at playing the match.
Something along
We'll
those
get
lines.
to it, it's a really exciting one to chat about. The vast majority of our team struck down by gastroenteritis caused by Billy King.
Yeah, Billy King went away with Scotland and breathed all over our guys.
Yeah.
And they came back and did some more breathing.
Breathed vomit and poo particles down their mouths, and then that was that.
There's an image.
Yeah, that's how you get
Sam
gastroenteritis.
Nicholson not take the blame. So does that mean that what were Billy King and Sam Nicholson up to?
Well,
I think sleeping in the same room as is, customary, but
Fair.
possibly.
But possibly gargling each other's vomit and poo. We don't know at this stage. It's just speculation. But I think that's the sort of thing we should set a trained investigative journalist on. Craig Cairns.
I'll get on it.
Good man. Billy King went away. He didn't play in the second game against Northern Ireland because he was sick, and then all of a sudden everyone was sick. John
But he
Suter
played in the first game because he's sick.
John Suter was sick first. He was sick before the Celtic game, but still played 90 minutes in the Celtic game because he said he was all right. And then everyone on the Sunday just went, actually feeling a bit rough here. I think for the game that was meant to go ahead on the Tuesday, 7 first team players made it, and then there was 5 youth players. The only goalkeeper was 17-year-old Kelby Mason, and that's how we got the game postponed, because we only had one fit goalkeeper over the age of 16.
I don't think John Suter feels human maladies.
No.
Be struck down by pain or any force short of an asteroid.
Motherwell. Oh, sorry.
And even then, he'd run it off.
Yeah.
Motherwell tried to pull the same trick the week before against Aberdeen, but failed. Which kind of after it happened with us. In the run up to the game versus Aberdeen, it led some Aberdeen supporters to
Craig conspiracy.
conspiracy that there was something against the. What kind of conspiracy is that?
Yeah, we don't want to play them this week. Like,
Football fans are dumb.
yeah, aren't they just? Especially Aberdeen fans. And I can say that now I'm on this podcast because Aberdeen fans won't listen to it.
That's what you think.
Yay!
That's what you're correct about.
Yep.
Speaking of Aberdeen,
Yes,
we played them.
we beat them
We did. How did we beat them?
It was like the opposite of the Celtic match where we started
really badly.
terribly, but then pulled it together.
Started like a bunch of guys who've shat out their intestines over the past few days and then suddenly regained them.
It was utterly bizarre because we were so far off the pace. We looked absolutely like a team that were tired and didn't want to play the game, and Aberdeen were going at us like really hard. They were so in control, and they got their goal, and they looked like a team whose game plan was to harry us for 20 minutes, then take it easy, and then harry us at the end, knowing that we'd be tired and shitty and vomity.
Yeah.
But that plan did not happen.
No, it didn't. Also, like talking about Aberdeen's goal for a second, it's John Souttar's first game at right back for us.
Yeah.
First proper game, and it was him and Prince who got done for that goal. So you could kind of see there was a bit of frailty there anyway. But yeah, Aberdeen battered us. Should have been maybe 2 or 3 up. And then Ozturk decided to shoot from 40 yards again. And the Aberdeen keeper shat it a bit. Juanma tapped it in. From there on in, there was only really one team that was going to win it.
Yeah,
We looked like we wanted it more. We played the better football. Aberdeen still had a couple of chances, but we just looked better. Juanma was unplayable, and it's the best I've ever seen him play.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
yeah,
was long overdue as well from Juanma. We
Yeah.
were waiting for a performance like that for quite a while from him after
Yeah.
his good start to the season.
Exactly. But he was like Taylor and Reynolds were just bouncing off him. They couldn't handle him.
And lying on the ground while we scored goals.
Yeah, exactly. That helped. That was a huge helping hand.
That was marvellous of them, and McGinn missing like 2 or 3
Oh my
very
God,
very
yeah.
presentable chances with the head
Especially-
and the foot.
He always does that at Tynecastle. It's fucking great. Like, he scored that one raker earlier on in the season. We'll give you that, Niall. But other than that, like, even in the relegation season, when they could have relegated us after the relegation derby, he missed 2 headers from about 4 yards collectively. It was amazing. It's great. I love seeing him unhappy. Just Aberdeen in general, I love seeing unhappy, actually, to be honest.
We do see them unhappy at Tynecastle quite a lot though,
Yeah,
which is great.
Pretty much constantly since I started going to the football.
It's nice being somebody else's bogey team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get that often, but Hibs and Aberdeen, we've got your number.
Do we have Hibs' number?
Historically, yes.
But historically, that's unarguable. Statistics will back you up there
Yep, they will.
forcefully. Yeah, so that was a weird game. Right, let's cover all the major talking points from the Inverness game. And now let's move on to the game against Motherwell.
Motherwell, yeah, that was at the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
You were there, weren't you?
I was there. Yeah, that was our first game in the post-split era, in the era where, yeah, there's nothing left to play for. Absolutely nothing left to play for.
0 teams give any of a shit.
Yeah, like
Apart from Motherwell, apparently.
well, they've got a great chance of finishing 4th.
Yep.
Well done. Well, actually,
That
the
is-
difference in prize money between 6th and 4th probably could see their budget for about 3 months.
And also the fact that at the start of the season, I was so sure they were going to get relegated. So sure. They were absolutely howling under Barraclough, and then Mark McGee came along and went, I could have managed Liverpool, and he's made them good.
He's done a really good job. I think they've won 7 of their last 8 or something like that.
It's ridiculous.
That-
The only game they lost was Celtic, and that was due to Conor Ripley being an absolute shite bag.
And I don't know. The 4th place has nothing to play for now, but until a while back there was the kind of faint hope that Celtic would win the cup and it would be a European spot. So they were kind of in with a slim chance of Europe at one point. But no, yeah, you can't disagree with the job that McGee's done. If only I'd got on that plane.
I know, God, 2008.
He's such a weird manager, McGee. Like he goes.
You could have
like,
left out Idger.
Oh, yeah. But he's either brilliant or absolutely terrible. Like he's never done a mediocre job anywhere.
Yeah, he's
Or he usually
weird.
starts well in nosedives at some point. Yeah, that can happen.
2 consecutive manager of the months though. That's pretty much unheard of.
Yeah, unless you're Gary Locke.
Did he not only get 1? Jesus Christ, did Gary Locke get 2 Manager of the Month awards? You must be talking out your arse, son. I'm not having that for a fucking second.
I'm sure
Gary Locke!
I'm sure Gary Locke got a disproportionate amount of Manager of the Month trophies. but
Yeah,
that would be
1.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, no, I'm not having that at all.
Okay, well,
You got April 2014 and that's all he fucking deserved.
I can neither confirm nor deny it.
He might be getting the Queen of the South job, by the way. Sorry, Queen of the South.
Jesus, who does he have pictures of? How does he keep getting employed?
I have no idea, man. Have you seen his LinkedIn profile? It's always good for a laugh. Under his main achievements, he's got beating Hibs.
Just went up in my estimation.
To be fair, that should be under his only marketable skill.
is getting a team up for playing Hibs.
Yeah, well, Queen of the South are probably going to be playing Hibs next season, so, useful.
Yeah,
I'd like to see Billy Brown's LinkedIn.
Oh God. Have you seen John McGlynn's LinkedIn? No. Also great. I really hoped he had that picture of him wearing half suit, half track suit up at Inverness a few years ago, but it's not.
Get yourself a man who can do both.
Oh, that picture's so perfect for that.
Right, the Motherwell game was an interesting. Well, it was an interesting one because everybody around me in the stand was going crazy at how terrible they felt the performance was. Now, I don't know if I just want different things out of football, but I genuinely felt it wasn't that bad. It definitely wasn't good. It definitely was the performance of people who were mentally on the beach. It was definitely we were certainly limited on the flanks, partly because Sam Nicholson continued to be pretty poor, partly because we were playing Doom on the left for the early stages of the game, and much as I love Arno, I think that might be the one position where he's not great. At fullbacks, we had Patterson, who's clearly still a bit off the pace, feeling his way back
He was
from
out for a
injury.
fair bit,
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, we'll just be using the rest of the season as training. And Liam Smith playing at left back, who can play the position but looked a little bit overawed doing it in the first team, especially against the wingers that Motherwell have.
Yeah, I was about to say, against Johnson and Ainsworth, it's not going to be a very easy day for you regardless. But
Yeah, and that's the flip side of it. Like, Motherwell played very, very well. I was very impressed with them. Ainsworth was the outstanding player on the pitch. Johnson's pace caused us all sorts of trouble. And I was interested to see, I don't know how long this has been happening, maybe you guys actually pay attention to Scottish football can tell me this, but Scott McDonald playing central midfield.
No, that's just because Morgado Gomez couldn't play because he was playing against Hearts, because Motherwell were playing against Hearts, so they dropped him into midfield.
Oh, of course.
He did play there in the playoffs last season against Rangers and done quite well. Barraclough tried to persist with it at the start of the season and it didn't quite work out, but since McGee's come in, he's kind of reinstated him as one of his main men up front, and he's performed really well under McGee. But no, that was more like a one-off because they were missing quite a few players. They were missing their goalkeeper. Who else was missing? Well, Lasley had to go off at half-time. Mm-hmm. Josh Law had to go off in the first half. So I think the disappointing thing from a Hearts point of view is Motherwell were missing those kind of players and lost a couple during the game, and Hearts didn't really trouble them very often. I only remember Samson really making one save, and that was from Patterson in the second half.
See, with regards to the Gomez point, I'm sure I heard before that he was eligible to play. I'm pretty sure that was sort of put out that he was eligible to play against us.
Was it not a rule that you're not allowed to?
No, you can have it written in your contract. It doesn't matter. I'm sure someone tweeted it. Someone credible tweeted it before the game. Might have even been Nielsen or McGee that said it, that he was eligible to play. But maybe he just chose not to.
Although,
I don't know.
For one reason or another, he was missing.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, McDonald did very well.
Yeah,
he was one of the factors why they won. Like, he was excellent passing, and it was intriguing to note him because he was kind of the ingredient that was missing from our midfield, like somebody who could be a bit more creative. Now,
like a Morgado Gomez.
Yeah. Good, and I'm finding this interesting, like watching Perry Kitchen bed into the team. Like, he's obviously great at stopping things. He's obviously like a very capable destroyer, but having somebody so specialised like that in our midfield, like it's kind of throwing off the balance a bit, because it means like if he wins the ball, then there's like an extra step before we can attack because he's got to give it to somebody else, and then like everything just sort of slows down. And I think if you're saying our ideal midfield definitely has Kitchen and Doom in it, we need somebody with a bit more quality on the ball than Prince has. I love Prince, but he's not the sort of incisive passer that we need if we're playing Kitchen and Doom.
I'd be tempted to drop Walker a wee bit deeper if that's the case. Walker can make things happen.
See, now that was an interesting thing, because it's sort of, were you at the game as well, Craig?
No, I watched it on Alba though.
Right.
They showed the thing again on Alba.
Alright, well, because something that was really apparent in the game, like at the start of the game, like most of our joy came from Walker being in the number 10 and just sort of drifting out to the flanks and doing whatever he wanted. After we went 1-0 down, Nielsen made the decision to go to 4-5-1 with Walker on the wing, which I suppose did make us a little bit more solid, but to be honest, it's not like Motherwell were creating chance after chance, but it just meant that Walker just completely faded out of the game. And
it isolates Wanma as well.
Yeah.
And that from what I've read, seems to be the case. Wanma was basically left to do a difficult job all by himself.
The service wasn't great to him, and when it did, it kind of bounced off him rather than him holding it in and allowing us to get up the pitch. It didn't really work for one man that match.
The few times that he was able to control and hold it up did sort of bring our finest moments, other than like points where Walker sort of created something all by himself. But yeah, he very much didn't get the service all throughout the game. So to your point about Walker playing deeper, like it would be very interesting if we played like a 4-3-3 with Walker as a central midfielder and had two wingers either side of Wanma. So that would normally be Nicholson, and if we get him back and we can put him in the team, Billy King. Like the performance for that game, if the whole team was trying, was crying out for somebody like Billy King, because his speed and directness.
He's direct, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't want to say it was a disappointing game, because it was the game you kind of expect at this stage of the season, but.
And Motherwell have been on some run as well. I mean, it's not as if we lost to a poor team.
But it was one of those performances where you could see that we had a game plan all throughout it. Didn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily the best game plan. It didn't necessarily work, but we could see like the team playing in a certain way and having a cohesive idea, which for me is a big positive compared to. Now this is where I'm really going to go out on a limb and see if you guys come with me. Like the Aberdeen game, I didn't think was very good at all, because I thought we were very haphazard, and the 2 goals we got were handed to us. Like without Aberdeen making mistakes, we wouldn't have won that game.
It's a fair point. I still think we played pretty well in parts of that match. I see what you're saying. I mean, I would say the Motherwell defeat, if you take it in the context of the whole season, it's not really that big a deal. We had an off day. We didn't perform. I mean, Nielsen didn't try and make any excuses after it. He just flat out apologised for it.
See, I would tend to disagree, because I think that's part of the problem. Our away form has been fucking awful this year. It's been so bad, and we need to address that. See if like this whole, we could challenge for the title next year. That's not going to happen if we play like that away from home. The reason that the fans around you were probably getting annoyed, no disrespect to yourself, but they've been to more away games than you. There's certain fans that go to every away game. Their complaints after every away game is exactly the same. Not enough effort, not enough attacking, not enough anything to show a sense of actually getting a win away from home. And it's incredibly worrying, our away form. It's fucking shite. It's awful. And if we weren't so strong at Tynecastle, then, we'd be looking at having a worse season than a worse season than what we've had.
What Rob's trying to say is Nielsen out.
Poodle out, mate.
Well, out for the away games at least.
Yeah, I honestly, I think there needs to be a change of tact away from home, because it's really not good enough. I mean, I know it's a dead rubber end of season game, but maybe this is the time to start showing, like, see next season, this is how we're going to start approaching away games.
Yeah, I mean, fair, but like I say, I think we need like slightly different personnel. We need like a different type of midfielder, or different type of midfielders that allow us to drop Walker into central midfield in order to pull that off, really. But it's difficult. It's difficult to grasp exactly what's going on, especially seeing how, knowing that we're in Europe next season. By the way, we're in Europe next season.
Hey.
I think pre-season starts in about half an hour.
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes time. Yeah.
We haven't replaced So, just to add to everything you're saying there either. We haven't replaced So either, which has been a problem. And you saw when Dowda came on, he came on for Nicholson and he didn't change the match in our favour at all.
He didn't change the match, but he did have some bright moments. again, like he showed what we already know, that he understands football quite well and that he's got a good touch and some good flicks, but the rest of the team aren't on his wavelength. And
Yeah, I'm not trying to say he's a bad player. It's just sometimes it doesn't work out for players for one reason or another. And it's not as if he's had an extended run in the team, but I don't know. It's just to take So out the team and then to bring somebody else in who hasn't hit the ground running. It has weakened us pretty severely, I think.
no,
So was amazing.
it's fair to say that we haven't replaced. So we tried to replace him. It's just not happened.
Not really worked,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't figured out the best way to make Juanma that key man up front instead.
I'd still play Riley up front with one man and see what he can do.
Yeah,
I think
It's a good shout.
Yeah, I think Riley fully deserves a run in the team between now and the end of the season. What, 4 games? For what our best spell of the season, barring the opening 5 games that we won, was when Gavin Riley was in the team. Was when we were playing high intensity pressing football. That's when we played our best. That's when we beat Aberdeen in the cup. You know, all that kind of stuff. Probably our best performance this season was beating Aberdeen in the cup. Get Riley back in the team.
The Celtic game as well. He had a good game against Celtic at Tynecastle.
He had a great game.
2-2 as well. Yeah.
Exactly. It was only, it was 2 weeks before that. So yeah, that's when we were hitting form, when it was albeit So, but Riley alongside him. And I think if Juanma had that guy who could do his running for him, if Juanma could hold it up, feed it to a player, then Gavin Riley's the guy you want. I'd love to see him in the team, and I'd love to see them try and forge some sort of partnership.
Yeah, it's just I think the devil's advocate reaction to that would be that in order to accommodate that, you've got to go for a different formation than the one that we really want, or like perhaps the management see as ideal going forward.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not in their eyes a worthwhile experiment. But
They experimented with it over Christmas and it fucking worked. So that would tend to say that stick with something that works.
Yeah, it's fair to say.
Yeah.
One other thing to take from that Motherwell game, possibly the best moment of it, a moment of magnificent petulance from John Souttar.
Amazing.
I don't know if this got picked up. He was just like defending the ball went out for a corner, and he was like, doing that thing where you're tracking someone's run, you keep going and you hit like the advertising hoardings, and he just sort of like, just in a fit of phrase, just pushed it right over. It's like, go take that, local plumber. Go,
You bastard, you.
yeah, and it fell right over Louise. Sort of, it's one of those like pyramid things that just tipped right over, and he walked away in disdain.
Brilliant.
Do you also see the ball boy pick up the ball when it hadn't gone out yet, and the referee had to give a drop ball?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked, to be fair, it looked like it had gone out. It was like a ball hair away from being out. It kind of curled back in and went towards the corner flag, and the wee kid runs up to the corner and picks up the ball and gives it to was it Ozturk? I think.
Yeah.
And then the referee realised, because the linesman hadn't flagged for it to go out, so he had to give a drop ball.
That infuriated the fans around me, because like it wasn't a contested drop ball. Like Ainsworth put it out, but he put it out for a throw, and was going, no, it should be a corner. No, it should be a by kick. It's like, oh.
That reminds me, I was a ball boy at Tynecastle in 2003, and one of the wee guys, other ball boys, basically was the ball was sort of running down the ring, but it was getting chased down by Mark De Vries and some Rangers player. And the ball boy tried to anticipate it and ran alongside. So he was basically also chasing the ball alongside these two guys. De Vries shoved the guy, and he shoved the wee boy into the hoardings.
Oh no!
And, no, he wasn't hurt, so it was fine. It was funny as fuck, man. Honestly.
Just imagine like a 10-year-old going for a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge with Mark De Vries.
I remember one.
Bear in mind, it could have been Marvin Andrews he shoved as well. I mean, that's.
I remember one, and I think it was like mid to late 90s or something, and we were playing Celtic in the Coca-Cola Cup quarter-final, I believe it was, and I think it was extra time as well, and we had gone 1-0 up, and the ball was kind of bouncing and going out, and the ball boy actually came onto the pitch or to the line and grabbed it, and Gordon Marshall, the Celtic goalkeeper, realising that this had happened because he was running out to get the ball, he grabbed the ball off this is how I remember it, and he grabbed the ball off him and pushed him away, pushed the little boy away intentionally.
Amazing. That's what I'd do if I was a professional footballer.
Use your clout to assault children.
Yes. Just like Eden Hazard, he knew the way.
Yeah, he absolutely did know the way.
Yeah.
Well done, Eden Hazard. That's the only good thing you've ever done.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, in your life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. So what are we doing next? Who's next? Oh, it's Celtic again. Great. It's always nice to have Celtic around.
Can we play them again?
It's so annoying when they just keep fucking showing up. Like, go away.
Yeah,
We don't want you here.
They haven't won in a while as well, so they'll...
They'll definitely. Aye, well, it's us, so they're going to up their game, and Patrick Roberts will score 9 goals or some shit. Dedrick Boyat will look like fucking. I don't know. That's how angry Celtic make me. I mumble.
And it won't make a blind bit of difference in the grand scheme of things.
No, it won't. It's a wee early kick-off, though, isn't it? And it's on the telly.
Good.
So that's nice.
Yeah, that's always great for getting the train through nice and early.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Oh, also, Player of the Year awards were announced.
Oh yeah, that happened.
That was fun.
The right player got the right player of the year award.
Both the right players got both the right Player of the Year's awards. Yeah, Daniel Bohr got under 17s.
Great.
Yep. Dario Zanata got under 20s.
I know him. He's good.
Yeah, you've heard of him. Daniel Bohr was on the bench against Partick Thistle when we beat them 4-0 away from home.
Well,
So
then he absolutely deserved his award.
there's a Daniel Bohr fact for you.
I was at that game and I don't remember that name on the subs bench.
Well, you're just not as good a Hearts fan as
It
me.
says more about me than it does about him.
What position does he play?
Centre half.
Well, I was hoping he was some sort of penetrating forward with a name like Boer.
No, unfortunately not. He looks just like Russell McLean though, who also plays for Hearts under 17s, and he's also like 6'9".
Cool.
I've got all the fucking facts, mate. That's why I'm here. Sam Nicholson got overall Young Player of the Year. There's one to discuss. Second time he's won it.
He has played a lot of games and he's been good in probably 70% of them.
Mhm.
Who's your rival?
He wouldn't have been my choice. Callum Patterson would have been my choice. I think yeah. That's
Is Callum Patterson young? Because I feel like he's been around since the main stand got built.
That's it. Yeah, it's the same with Jamie Walker.
he built the main stand himself.
Players that were kind of thrust in when they were maybe not quite ready, and it feels like they've been around a lot longer than they actually have.
He was the first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Against Liverpool, yeah.
But I find it hard to disagree with that. I think Patterson before his injury. I mean, I think he went off the boil a little bit even before his injury, but for a large part of the season, he was great. He was
Hugely influential, scores goals, sets up
Captain
goals.
occasionally.
Captain occasionally,
He
yeah.
improved parts of his game that he wasn't as good at last season. Like his crossing got a lot better and things like
His
that.
defending in general got a lot better.
One of the games he was captain, was it that Thistle game as well? And it seemed to calm him down. He seemed to be like less mental.
He wasn't going mental anyone. It was nuts. Yeah, it would have,
Paradoxically.
it would have been Patterson for me, but that award is voted for as by the players. So you know, you can see that obviously they can see the power of work that Nicholson's done, because I don't doubt it. He's done a lot of more defensive duties this year and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
On his days, probably our most exciting player, like as an individual skill and
yeah, between him and
technical
Walker,
ability, I
yeah.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%, yeah. I'm not slagging him off. I just don't think he was worthy of the award.
Oh, I think you're not slagging him off, but you are making some very obscene hand gestures. So we'll move on and talk about the actual the senior player of the year, the old player of the year, the ancient 24-year-old possibly Igor Rossi.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is one that if I had voted, I would have voted for. I think consistency. The fact he's done it in 2 different positions, he never lets you down. He seems to care an awful fucking lot as well. I love Igor. I think he's great.
He is excellent. Yeah, it's one of those weird situations where he's not necessarily somebody to be in your first 11, but he's definitely one of the most important players in the squad.
I just think I would have him in my start 11. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's so reliable defensively, and he's one of these players that just endears himself to the fans through his attitude and his commitment.
Yeah.
And he's hard as fuck.
See, this is going to sound like a craven bit of walking back, but as soon as those words left my mouth, I realised that I would have him in my first 11. Because, like as a more defensive left back, he complements Patterson rampaging down the right perfectly, allows you to play 3 at the back when you need to. So, I talked shite there.
Yeah.
I really don't
you
think
did.
very much before I open my mouth.
I think he more than deserved it. Again, that was the one voted for. It was Players' Player of the Year, wasn't it? Was
I don't
Rossi.
know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Players' Player was Rossi, Fans' Player was June.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he absolutely deserved it. And to be fair, my second choice for Player of the Year overall would have been Doom anyway. So
yeah, the impact he had since coming in is remarkable.
Yeah.
And again, flexibility, so many positions.
Yeah.
Just a great footballer.
he's just one. Oh, something about that Inverness game.
Mm-hmm.
He took it down on the chest and skinned about 4 players in one move and set up Dowda. That's the only thing I saw in that game because it's the 2 minutes I watched it on Periscope. And I was like, oh, that was great, and then turned it off again. Turns out that was the only thing that happened in that game.
I literally haven't watched the highlights from that game.
No,
I
I
haven't
haven't
watched
either.
1 second of it.
Nor have I.
And I do not feel that my life has been affected for the worse by that decision at all.
No, not even slightly. But yeah, Doom and Rossi, great guys, well done.
Heart of Midlothian, great guys.
Great guys, great bunch of lads.
You guys thought we forgot songs. We didn't forget songs.
We never forget songs.
We've got songs coming out of our ears.
all over the place.
It's the only reason I come along.
Yeah, it's the only reason we invite you.
It's the only reason people listen.
Yeah. Who deserved it this time? Out of the 4 games we played, what was the signature performance?
Has to be Juanma.
Does it have to be?
Yes.
Oh, it has to be.
Well, it is. So.
But yeah, it better be because that's who we've written songs about.
Yep. Yeah. No, that performance against Aberdeen, that was. Someone put on Kickback. It's one of the best individual displays by a Hearts player this season. I can't really disagree with that, to be honest with you. It was really quite incredible.
It was everything that's good about Juanma's game.
Yeah.
I'd just like to see it a bit more often.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've all got songs.
Yep.
Does anyone have a strong desire to go first? Why don't I go first? I think it's been a while since I went
Yeah,
first.
go
isn't
on,
it?
man.
Okay. Juanma and your wonderful beard. I said Juanma has led us to the Europa League. I said Juanma with his meter white face, but his new haircut's a disgrace. Juanma plays for the HMFC. I said Juanma plays for HMFC. He's a wonderful lad, and his first touch ain't bad, but he needs a bit more consistency.
This is why we don't let Nickel go first. Yeah.
Oh shit, who's next? Craig?
Do I go for it?
Yes.
Go for it, man.
As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong, and then I long for soul. But then I realize we're third, back in the top flight, back in Europe again. The win v Aberdeen, a more grim beard I've never seen, and that's Juanma. A Juanma. Juanma. A Juanma. He ran away after scoring, and I wonder if he will stay.
Extra applause for the enthusiastic percussion.
Yes.
Is that or silence? Silence between the verses.
No one wants that.
Robert.
Prepare for more silence when this is done. This isn't getting rid of a fucking applause. Okay. He gets knocked down. He won't get up again. Rolling all around the ground. He gets knocked down. He won't get up again. He's rolling all around the ground. Starting all games away. Why can't we win away? He takes a little kick, he takes a bigger kick. He'll throw a punch at you or kick you in the dick. Scoring goals to remind us of the good times, get sent off to remind us of the shanna times. Oh, Juan my boy, Juan my boy, Juan my boy. That's all I've got.
That's all you need.
I had to get kick you in the dick in there. So
You had to
Played it
look-
down a bit.
by hook or by crook, I got it in there.
That's where you started and you just built the song around it.
Exactly, yeah.
That's something we haven't talked enough about, how much other teams hate him. It's great to have a team that a player that's just a villain.
Unless
everybody.
that player is Jamie Hamill.
Well, but
Everyone hated him, but
No,
we
no.
hated him too.
yeah, that's the key thing. It has to be the other fans that hate him, not you yourself with every fibre of your being.
Yeah, we have had a few of them. Michael Stewart,
Yeah,
Jamie Hamill.
Jamie Hamill.
Yep. Currently without a club. Shock. Good. Yep, indeed.
Unless he signs for Gary Locke's Queen of the South next season.
I think that's a fucking banker, to be honest with you. Like him and Scott Robinson.
No, I don't know that. I quite like Queen of the South.
I know.
They're a nice club.
They are, in a nice town.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yep. Couldn't give a fuck.
Right, who won that song?
I don't know actually. I'm going to say you, Nickel.
Yours was pretty strong, Nicole.
Got to actually agree with that, and I don't care.
You knew that was coming.
Not only did you work Wanman to there, I think what clinched it was the replacing YMCA with HMSC.
Yeah, it's a stroke of genius, really.
Thank you. And one that I can certainly see our support adopting.
100%, yeah.
Definitely right in the wheelhouse of some of our more traditional fans.
Definitely.
Cool. Right. Do you want to listen to this podcast more? Well, then you should go to our Tumblr page.
WeHaveNoCares.tumblr.com.
Yeah, because it's all there.
Yep.
All of it.
All of them.
Every bit of it.
Yep.
Search YouTube. It's all there.
Yep.
Do you want to talk to Rob?
I don't think they do. If you do, it's at RF Borthwick on the Twitter.
You definitely want to talk to Craig. He's a lovely boy.
At Craig Cairns 001.
And if you want to know who to put on your mute list, it's at Nicole Hay.
Speak to us collectively, obviously, at We Have No Cares.
Yeah, certainly, do that.
Definitely not a completely dormant account.
Yeah, no, we're getting the full use out of that.
100%, yep.
As is our email address, wehavenocares@gmail.com.
Yep.
We'll probably have another podcast before the end of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to, really. Because there's more games.
there's no getting around it.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a significant game tomorrow night, probably being played by the time this goes up, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got a competitive fixture left, Robert.
Absolutely. It's the Youth Cup final between the Hearts under-20s and the Motherwell under-20s.
Care to give us a full and comprehensive preview of that, Robert?
Definitely. Next time.
A preview of it after the game.
It should be good. Hearts under-20s haven't been... I'll fucking do it, man. You've backed me into a corner. Hearts under-20s haven't been great this year, but I think a lot of that's down to the fact that a lot of players have been called up for first team action. But they've obviously deserved to get to where they are. Motherwell under-20s, don't know. Scott Leach's son plays for them.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
So tune in on BBC Alba right now, because you're probably listening to this as the game's been played, or indeed after. So yeah,
Time. What a funny beast.
enjoy it.
Thank you for joining us, Craig.
Thank you very much.
I suppose thank you, Robert.
That's not a problem at all, man. Pleasure to be here.
Congratulations, Nickel. Thanks, Nickel. Sterling performance once again. Steve Crawford.
Steve Crawford.
Steve Crawford.
I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out.
Oscar's arriving on the scene. Hot